Shalom, giving all praises to the Heavenly Father, Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rachakwadash. Double honors to the apostles, the bishops, the elders at Great Millstone who rule well. Peace and salutations as always to the elect. Brother Polight has been sentenced on the Sabbath. All right. And what I get from that is the Lord is ultimately going to give us rest, all right, from the naysayers and our enemies. This is Apostle Tahar's video where he's recording, all right, ultimately a video, all right, where the mother is ultimately speaking to him for the first time since, all right, he's been, brought up on these charges supposedly. All right, and basically we're going to listen to her. And what this guy did was basically he took, the chick he was dealing with, he took her daughter and basically, gave her drugs, alcohol, and had his way. There was DNA found. And once I knew that, and heard that, I knew he was done, if that was true. We waited, to speak on this because we didn't, it's all kind of stuff going on in this world. But apparently, it's come out. He's been sentenced. Some brother said it said 7 years. He pleaded guilty. But let's listen to the mother testify. Now, if you don't know who Brother Polight is, some years ago, around 2008, a year after this word had went viral on the internet, immediately, particular individuals started to pop up, coming against the Hebrew Israelites, wanting to do debates, bringing in their madness, following us around immediately. Now, Brother Polight is an off branch of the Nuwabian. He was all over the place. That's how these agents come. They're all over the place. You can never really put a pin on what they believe in, but he stems from Malachi York, who right now is doing, I believe, a life sentence, or maybe a sentence of 30 plus years. I don't know, 40 plus, 50 plus years, for running a, what they call cult, and molesting, men, little boys, women, young girl, whatever. He's done. All right. And Brother Polight, defended him, although he's in jail for life, I believe, Brother Polight should defend him. Either way, when the topic of, grape, because, we bring out the fact that there's a law on how to handle grape in the Bible, and people just lost their minds. We brought out some ancient customs, which pretty much you can just look up bride kidnapping, where a man would, seize a bride instead of going through the natural order. That happened in the ancient world, and it still happens today in a lot of parts of Africa. It's called bride kidnapping. And the word grape, R-A-P-E, literally means to seize. That part itself has, nothing to do with the sexual act when you really go into it. But anyway, this individual was known for making a big fuss and putting a lot of slander out there that we were, grapists, pedos, and ultimately he, that was his claim to fame, like to destroy the Hebrew Israelite movement. As a matter of fact, let me pull up this comment that somebody put on one of the videos. Give me a second real quick. As you can see here, it's on one of the videos, I guess, Brother Garfield. Everybody's going into it. You're getting ready to see a lot of videos on this guy. But Brother Polight falsely accused the Great Millstone elders of being grapist. He even went down to GMS Miami and falsely accused those brothers. Or now look at him caught up on a sexual assault charge. All right. And apparently he just went in. All right. He took the girl's phone. You know, the mother was calling. As a matter of fact, let's listen to this video.
Then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever.
You forced alcohol down her throat. I'm gonna say this, you know, to you women. You know, you get with a dude. All right, be mindful of allowing the dude to just, you know, take your daughter. You know, because he got fame and money. You trust it. Look, man. don't be wise about who you allow around your children, man. But apparently she trusted him with the child. Okay, so she's not 100% innocent in this situation, but I don't know the 100% details. But he took her and just went in. He turned into Egyptian, all right, god right before her face. And apparently he left the DNA all over. You know, he just lost his mind. The Lord put a demon on him. And let's keep listening. All right, whatever a man soweth, that shall he reap. And real quick, let me get the law real quick. The Bible speaks against this. You dealing with a woman, you ain't deal with her daughter. Leviticus 18 and 17. Do not have sexual relations with both a woman and her daughter, and do not take her granddaughter, all right, whether her son's daughter or her daughter's daughter, and have not sexual relationships with her. They are close relatives, and this would be a wicked act. Okay? While your wife is living, do not marry her sister and have sexual relationships with her, for they will be rivals. Do not have sexual relations with the woman during her menstrual cycle. So we have laws on sex. All right, there's order. All right, but right here we see in the law, you're not supposed to deal with a woman and her daughter, and that's what he did. You don't know, he probably was watching the daughter. You know, I believe they say she was 15. You know, he looking at her develop. He's like, yeah. All right, and ultimately he was like, well, shit, I'm gonna take Kenya to the store. All right, she gonna go with me today. I'm gonna take her shopping. And apparently he just took her phone and
have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
That would have really been fucked up. You done fucked up, man. You done. Big Rex's gonna grab you and he's gonna beat you up.
Right. So apparently he drugged her too. I didn't know I had this on playback speed. Salakia. Sorry about that. I'm gonna back it up just a little bit.
Her and I both trusted you. For a grown man to violate a child who trusted him, you should be ashamed of yourself. You plotted on me and my little girl. The entire time you knew what you put in to do. Isolate, intoxicate, then violate my baby. Shame on you. I trusted you to bring her right back. You were supposed to bring her back the same way that you took her. Instead, you drugged her and took advantage of her. You sexually abused her. You forced alcohol down her throat. You then forced her to see things that no child should ever have to see. You forced her to feel things that no child should have to feel. You forced her to accept violence that no child should ever have to endure. You forced drugs in her that no human should ever even ingest. She's my child. My baby. How could you? How could you?
This is the guy who shot up the Bible. constantly mock the Hebrew Israelites, you know, constantly scam people out of their money. Many complaints online about that. And yet he still had a following. This dude is so wicked. The day he just got sentenced. There was just a video released on his page. You know, people like that with, you know, so-called money and status, you know, people run these pages. But he just released a rap video. The day he's sentenced, a rap video was released of this nigga.
Yo, did I mention I'm from Brooklyn? If you fuck with me, fuck with me. Don't fuck with me, fam. Get money. Get money. Get money. Get money. They wish I was guilty. Fuck it, they feel me. I ain't going tit for tat. Ain't poor, but I'm filthy. I just made $1 million. I ain't trading this with that. Her skin so silky. I kept it 250. Might get a kiss for that. She tried to milk me. I told her forgive me. You know you got tits for that. I'm really on it, flying too much upon it. Clear. Rather go some 100. I told her you want it. Steer. My money was done and I got it. You want it here. 100 at the.
Yo, niggas are completely out of control.
How could you? You could have killed her with all the drugs that were found in her system.
That would have really been fucked up. You done fucked up, man. You done. Big Rex is gonna grab you and he gonna bend you up. You were the most hated black man in America.
You thought I was gonna be so blinded that I wouldn't notice when you returned her with bruises all over her body and her mouth busted, uncontrollably shaking. Absolutely not. And although you executed your plan and you got what you wanted those couple of hours.
And Egypt is known for the freaky deaky. See, that's what has been brought out. You know, all of those different debates. You know, those Kemet on trial. You know, I remember Tazariak debated him, and Tazariak smashed him. Hey, we were going for, even if they debate today. You know, although we don't deal with debates and all that, we're gonna go for the Israelite. They smashed them and brought out all kind of information on how freaky Egypt is. And see, the Lord put the spirit of Egypt on Polight. He probably put that makeup around his eye and lost it. He wasn't even thinking, you know, and this is what happens when you get fame, money, you believe you think you become untouchable in your mind. All right? So the missiles are going to come while he's in jail. He's going to get the charagma to maybe take a few more, you know, years off of his sentence. And his ass is going to be, because we ain't going to be here in 7 years. The Lord is going to destroy this place before 7 years. And I believe that through faith. So he's going to be in jail. Okay. And you know what happens, okay, to grapists and pedos when they go to jail. All right. There's going to be a target on his back. All right. And though I don't wish that on no man, that's the judgment of the Lord, man. God damn. And it happened. See, the Lord, he got sentenced on the Sabbath.
You actually failed. Because look where you're at right now. You have created a lifetime of trauma for my daughter and I. Before you, we never knew evil existed. You brought so much evil into our lives that early morning. And I'll never forget. I called you like 50 times and you wouldn't answer me. And I called her too, but you took her phone. You drugged my baby. You gave her no way to seek help. You left me nowhere to contact her or even know where she was.
And this is not a situation, you know, to laugh at, you know, but damn. Don't forget Africa Bambaataa, Sanetta's boy. Polight was Sanetta's boy too.
It's libation and profit.
You know, you got Jake coming out on him. You know, this guy Hassan Campbell, he got a famous YouTube channel. He was you know, well, that was a relationship. When you look it up, your ass was old enough. Okay. Oh, the niggas. This is why Jake got to be destroyed. Look at the title of that video. KRS-One. You see that? This is all under the spirit of Egypt. Yet we should take on and go back to the Kemetic practices. Look at Shaka Amos. A grown-ass man walking around with a ponytail hanging off the side of his head. And then years later, he does a video of why he cut it off. Look at this nigga. Why I cut my lock? Hell nah. So Egypt ain't the way to go, Jack. Hell nah.
I get physically sick now whenever I'm away from my daughter because of you. Something as simple as her going to school, I'm in panic mode. Because I'm scared when she comes back, she's going to be hurt all over again. I constantly have flashbacks of that night. And what she lives with it's not okay. She feels uncomfortable around people and will live with this forever, and this is not fair to her.
This is a heinous crime.
She never deserved
This is a heinous crime.
Shame on you.
This is GMS Gabar War. If a false witness, Deuteronomy 19:16, if a false witness rise up against any man to testify against him that which is wrong, then both men between whom the controversy is shall stand before Yahweh, before the priest and the judges which shall be in those days, and the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be false, all right, false witness, and he have testified falsely against his brother, then shall ye do unto him as he have thought to do unto his brother, all right, so shall thou put away evil from among you. All right. And thou and those which shall remain shall hear and fear and shall henceforth commit no more any such evil among you. And you still have you Israelites out there pushing false slanders against us. Right? Proverbs 19:19. A false witness shall not be unpunished, and he that speaketh lies shall perish. So all of y'all Israelites out there that push that narrative, and you got these silly women laden with iniquity going on social media and talk about hide your children from GMS. Okay. All right. Okay. So he got sentenced on the Sabbath. Okay. Galatians 6:7. Be not deceived. God is not mocked. For whatsoever a man soweth, that shall he also reap. Through. Okay? Through. 2 Thessalonians 1:6. Seeing it is a righteous thing with the Most High to recompense tribulation to them that trouble you.
Let's let the scripture speak. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, to back up the elder, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat.
7 means completion. 1,000 women.
Right.
Case in point, King Solomon had 1,000 women. He had, listen, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. You know what a concubine is? A woman that you just go and do your business and keep it moving. All right?
Yeah, so this is the day that's fast approaching. And in that day 7 women, which the brother explained it, 7 women shall take hold of one man.
So this is the video. This is the famous video where, Polight, got his claim to fame of destroying the Hebrew Israelites, but it hasn't worked because more edification has come out. We've explained our stance and position on what we meant, all right, by the biblical law on how to handle grape. We've explained, all right, how what marriage age was in ancient Israel. We brought all of those things out, and even Israelites are ashamed to bring it out. All right. But what was the marriage age in ancient Egypt? After all of that. But see, what this dude is doing and what's happening in this world is complete perversion, wicked. All right. And that's why the Lord got your ass, man. What you were trying to pin on us, all right, has flipped around on your ass. All right. And you can check this brother's video out. See. Just get to the Matthew 7, 1 through 3. Judge not that ye be not judged. For what judgment ye judge, ye shall be judged. And what measure ye meet, it shall be measured unto you again.
Go into the details on the contract. Go ahead.
Your Honor, the plea agreement includes an adjudication, 7 years of state prison, followed by 10 years of reporting probation as a condition.
7 years. Complete. It's over, man. The Lord getting ready to start judging this place. And you niggas, man. This was wicked.
Of probation, the defendant will.
Would you say 10 years probation?
10 years reporting probation. Okay. The defendant will complete the MDSO program. The defendant will not be allowed to have unsupervised contact with children. The defendant will have specific terms regarding where he may work and the ability to wear a uniform. There are additional terms of restitution, of which $5,000 has been agreed to be paid upfront within 24 hours, mailed to the to the victim, and additional restitution to be paid out on a monthly basis once he is out of custody. And that monthly amount is highlighted in the written terms of the plea agreement. Additionally, there will be a stay away order from victim TS and her mother, which is also mentioned in the.
You just know he's thinking about what he did. Because you know, this nigga, him and Sonetta, got the Bloods and Crips on a video to say that they're going to, they had the guns. They were going to come and get us over these allegations.
Plea agreement.
What is the total amount of the restitution?
The total amount of restitution is $25,000.
Okay. All right.
The defendant's counsel going to be providing
information
of the proof of the $5,000 being paid.
Yes, Your Honor. Okay. All right. Okay, so Mr. Nowak, the terms of the plea agreement are as what the prosecutor just stated, that you are going to be entering a plea of guilty to the 2 counts of aggravated child abuse and 1 count of deliberate contributing to the delinquency of a minor. You will be adjudicated guilty, which is a criminal conviction on your record. Do you also understand, sir, that by entering into this plea that it may subject you to involuntary civil commitment proceedings set forth in Florida statutes 394.910 through 394.931? Do you understand everything that I've said thus far?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I want to also advise you, sir, that you are going to be sentenced to 7 years in state prison, to be followed by 10 years of reporting probation. In addition to any of these special conditions of probation, you will also participate in and successfully complete a mentally disordered sex offender treatment program, that you are also not eligible. Okay, you may, according to the state, you may be eligible for early termination if all of the conditions of your probation have been completed, that you have had no violations of your probation, and that you have not been arrested for any other criminal offense. Is that correct, State?
And to clarify, the terms stated in 5 is there is no prohibition on early termination. However, there is a requirement that any modification to this agreement be agreed by the state and the court.
Okay. All right, sir. Now, with respect to this plea agreement, I have on each page next to defendant's initials MN. Did you in fact affix those initials to each page?
I did.
And have you reviewed each and every component of this plea agreement going through page 1 and through page 4?
I have.
Now it says on page 4, having read the above mentioned terms of this plea agreement and having been advised by my counsel, David Terrace, I, Michael Noak, freely and voluntarily enter into this plea agreement and agree to abide by all terms and conditions of this plea agreement, and agree that failure to comply with any terms or conditions within this agreement constitutes a violation of probation and subjects me to be sentenced to the statutory maximum penalties provided by law for the crimes for which I am now pleading guilty. And then it has a signature over the name Michael Noah. Is that in fact your signature, sir?
Yes, sir.
All right. And I am now going to place my signature on this plea agreement, in that I am now going to be ratifying this plea agreement as negotiated between the state of Florida and your attorney. Has anybody, including you?
You know what I'm saying?
Say less.
But what I'll tell you is this. You know, I ain't no fucking weirdo. You see all the beautiful, voluptuous people I be with.
Yeah.
So I ain't a weirdo. That's what it is, but I know what it is for people.
Yeah.
When you make a very negative accusation against somebody, some accusations are so negative, you be like, yo, that shit's so negative, it gotta be true, because who would say something that negative?
Damn.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's how that shit is. But you know, I ain't gonna speak on it any further, but I tell you this, if I accuse somebody of some shit, niggas don't buy into it, niggas hate me. But if somebody accuses me of something, it's always true. But I'm always walking around free.
Right.
It's always true, but I'm always free. So you know what I'm saying? It is what it is, but I just got wind of it.
Say no more, man.
But you know, love you, man. Thank you for even just asking me.
All right.
You know, and being a brother, just asking.
Yes.
But I thank you very much. But you know how we got to do when it comes to this type of goofy shit. You